All right, shalom, shalom. Call I know what Yahweh by Shimi, I was shy by Shema Bakakadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone who teach well. I want to give a hearty shalom to the hopeful elect. All right, it's your brother Crowder's out back with another lesson, and you see what the title is. There's a lot of stuff going on in the news in regards to the war and rumors of wars. Let me start with that. All right, this is Matthew 24 and 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So there's going to be a lot of troubles and rumors of wars, all right? So one hot topic in regards to rumors of wars, all right, is these thermonuclear missiles, all right? Let me keep reading. For nation shall rise against nation. And if you pay attention to the news, all right, Ukraine is the center point of the war that's building up between, that's going to cause America to get involved further than what they already are by delivering weapons to Ukraine and whatnot, right? So it's going to escalate is what I'm saying. It says, so for nations, the Lord Yahweh shall say, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. These things already happen. Pestilences, famines, and earthquakes, all right? There was a slight earthquake here in Virginia. I didn't feel anything, but it was in Central Virginia, about where I'm stayed, 30 minutes away from where I stay. It was recorded in the news, but I got an earthquake app that says, hey, 6.0 magnitude or greater. I get notifications for. That's happening all around the world. But here goes an article that I came across. It came out last week. It says, here are the nuclear weapons Russia has in its arsenal. All right. And you can see here, well, if it'll go up again. There's warships right here. There's a warship that shot off a missile. A Marine missiles coming out of silos, all right? And another one coming out of silo here, all right? Coming from out of the water here, all right? Or out of a submarine here, all right? It says video released by Russia in early 2022 shows drills by its strategic nuclear forces, including intercontinental ballistic missiles and cruise test missiles. All right. So we're going to read a little bit of this and then get some scriptures. All right. It says, as Russia's military retreats on a battlefield, Vladimir Putin's rhetoric about using nuclear weapons is escalating. All right. And this is what we want. We want them to use nuclear weapons. Okay. We want them to bomb America, and we want all these nations to bomb America. All right. Because that's when, that's the end of this place, man. We still got to wait on the sea hip to be fully pushed at the people, right? Which is slowly coming because they're making the dollar obsolete, all right? But everything takes time, so we got to be patient, right? It says Russia's president has been warning of nuclear consequences with the increasing intensity since the first week of his war in Ukraine, when he put his arsenal on high alert. Now he is threatening to use nuclear weapons to defend the Ukrainian territory that Russia has illegally annexed. Well, guess what? If Russia is illegally annexing certain countries or lands, portions of certain lands, guess who started doing that shit? America, right? It says this is not a bluff. He warned the West, which is here in this part of the world. We are in the Western hemisphere of the world, America. It says, and those who try to blackmail us with nuclear weapons should know that the weather vane can turn and point toward them, right? So America, man, all right? So this nuclear threat can turn and point towards America, right? So it says here, Russia and the U.S. have 90% of the world's strategic nuclear stockpile. So here deployed, America has more strategic nuclear weapons deployed. Russia has more in storage, and then America has more retired. Okay, and then it shows the numbers of all these other countries, whether in storage or deployed. Right, the numbers are barely showing up for China, Israel, Pakistan, and India, but the United Kingdom has 120 deployed. And you have to don't take this for face value, because their operations or information that's given. If you were a military general, you wouldn't tell your enemy all the things or tricks and trades that you have to beat them in combat, right? So these numbers may be true on the surface, but below that, there's more, right? All right, I'm gonna skip around in this article. All right, here we go. Russia's stockpile of nuclear warheads. All right, remember, don't take these numbers for face value, because there's going to be things that your enemy hides from you that you won't know, right? So technical weapons, and it's going to tell us what technical is, and strategic here is in second. 1912 intercontinental 1185 submarine launch ballistic missile 800 air launch from bombs 580. All right, it tells you how to guess. This is what I want to read right here. How powerful are all these weapons? The power of A, that means a singular one, nuclear bomb, nuclear weapon. Its yield is measured as a TNT equivalent. All right. Not sure what a TNT, how explosive a TNT is, but it's going to tell us, right? It says the U.S. Department of Energy estimates that the American bombs that were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki had yielded 15 and 21 kilotons, respectively, so equivalent to 15,000 tons and 21,000 tons of TNT. Modern strategic nuclear weapons have enormous power. Standard ones yield have yields of 500 kilotons to 800 kilotons, or even 1 megaton, equivalent to 1 million tons of TNT. Russia holds the record for the most powerful weapons ever exploded. In 1961, it tested a bomb at 50 megatons, named the Tsar bomber, or ruler of all bombs. And here goes the image. Here goes the recording of what happened. Right, bam! There you see that mushroom cloud. Let me get some scriptures. All right, so imagine these bombs. Imagine these bombs going off and hitting people. You saw the the after effect. Well, when the bomb hit, here you go. You see here's the after effect. All right, you see how everything turned white for a second, and you see how everything is rising up in the air. See that? Mushroom cloud. All right. But nonetheless, let me go here, because when these missiles come, understand it's the judgment of Yahweh Shema Shai. So this is Isaiah 13:6. How ye for the day of Yahweh Shema Shai is at hand. That means if something is at hand, it's close. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, every man's heart shall melt. And they shall be afraid, pains and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed at one another. Their faces shall be as flames, right? And this is what's going to happen. Everybody's going to be in pain and agony, right? Behold, the day of Yahweh cometh both cruel and with cometh cruel both with wrath and fierce anger to lay the land desolate, and it shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. Let's look at this word cruel. The word is because I don't even want to butcher it. All right, it says cruel, so let me just do this. All right, it says cruel, harsh, cruel, fierce, savage. All right, one who brings grievous tidings such as the sentence of death. All right, savage messenger, i.e., one who brings grievous tidings such as a sentence of death. All right, so there's going to be a lot of death sentences out here when the Lord brings his cruel wrath and anger. All right, and it continues to go on how. Let me read this. For the stars of heaven and the constellation thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. One reason is because there's going to be so many mushroom clouds going up, you're not going to be able to see anything, man. All right. Shalom, Aki, Abashim, Shabashim, Kakadak, Barakata. Let me read some more of this article. It says modern tactical weapons usually have the capacity of 10 to 100,000 kilotons, which still makes the average tactical weapon potentially more destructive than the bombs used on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Russia and the United States also have low-yield nuclear weapons that pack a light punch, even dipping below 1 kiloton. All right. So I'm going to assume, based on that, 1 kiloton is either 10,000. Let me go back up. Where is it at? Just read it. Yeah, so it's either 15. So it's between 1,000 and 10,000 kilotons, right? Let me see. It says, what was I at? It says, but even the least powerful nuclear bomb with a yield of 0.3 kilotons has about the same explosive power as the 2020. What is that? I can't even say that word. Bouret explosion. All right, there was an explosion that happened a few years ago when all the C-19 nonsense was going on. All right, let's see. It says here, what weapons would Russia be most likely to use? It says Russia has various kinds of tactical nuclear weapons. Some are designed for use by the Navy, some to be used by the Air Force, and others to be used by the Army, either in surface-to-surface short-range missiles or in surface-to-air defenses. The yield varies by purpose. Since it takes more power to penetrate, say, an underground bunker than it does to stop an incoming warplane, Russia has different sizes stocks of all these weapons. For example, all right, I'm not gonna read that. It's not important, but here goes a missile, something that's able from air to ground, right? Because it's coming from ground to air. So like it's coming off the back of a vehicle. All right, look at that. It's coming off the back of a vehicle. All right. A far more likely candidate is the 9K-720 Iskander missile system, classified by NATO as the S-26, which is a ground ballistic missile. But according to the Christian and the Federation of American Scientists, there are far fewer of these in the Russian arsenal, about 100 weapons. All right, we don't know. All right, they're not going to give you a specific amount of weapons that they have, man. I'm not going to tell my enemy I got 300 of these and 7,000 of these. I'm not going to tell my enemy that. I may give them a false number or let them come count a certain amount and stash the rest somewhere else or limit their access, okay? because they in this article, I skipped over it, but they have a new start deal where they were able to go through and see the weapons and count the weapons that each country had, right? But let's read this here. The 9M723 ballistic missile, that's what you see here. The range is approximately 300 miles. The booster rocket stage and the warhead are both maneuverable and flight for precise targeting. So there's somebody controlling this missile from a distance after it's gone up, all right, to hit the target. And the scriptures tell you, let me get this in Joel. This is Joel 2 and not and 8. It says, neither shall one thrust another, they shall walk every one in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. They shall run to and fro in the city, they shall run upon the wall, they shall climb up upon the houses, and so does say in Slaki, they shall enter in at the windows like a thief. The earth shall quake before them, the heavens shall tremble, the sun and moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. All right, going into let me read 11. And Yahweh Shai shall utter his voice before his army, which is these thermonuclear missiles. For his camp is very great, for he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of Yahweh Shai is great and very terrible. Who can abide it? Nobody is, right? Only the elect is going to be able to abide in this day. But the Lord is going to have his spirit on these missiles to hit the precise targets, man. All right. And they can hit a person, they can hit a building. All right. Let me see. All right, here we go. This is important. It says tactical nukes. Tactical nuke could still wreak havoc, wreak grievous destruction. All right, the brother got some on the board. Brother Donald Roth. The brother got Jeremiah 50 and 14. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all you that bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrow. These arrows going into these thermonuclear missiles, for she has sinned against the Lord. And how did she sin against the Lord? Look what's going on in regards to the people of Israel, man, the Lord's people, right? Isaiah 9 and 5. For every battle of the warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. That's how the fights used to be in the olden times, right? Even in the wars now, man, you got close range combat, right? In some aspects. It says here, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire, right? From these thermonuclear missiles. All right, the brother got some more fire. This is Judges 5 and 11. They that are delivered from the noise of the archers in the place of drawing water, they shall rehearse the righteous acts of Yahweh Shai, even the righteous acts toward the inhabitants of his villages in Israel. Then shall all the people of Yahweh go down to the gates, right? So right here, they that be delivered from the noise of the archers in the place of drawing water, right? That's the elect that's going to be delivered out of this place, man. All right. The Lord's going to have these missiles hitting everywhere, right? But it's going to hit here in America too, man. It's going to hit everywhere in America, right? The Lord can put the spirit, let's say if these other nations start launching missiles towards whatever, or towards whatever country, the Lord could have the spirit and his spirit in these missiles and to turn them around and come hit Babylon, man. All right. But the ones that's going to be delivered from the noise of the archers, right, from them silos going off, is the elect, man. All right. Brother got another one. Luke 12 and 49 is the Lord speaking. Says, I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled? Brother got fire. Says, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back to him, brother. All right. Tactical nuke could still wreak grievous destruction, using the District of Columbia as a rough guide, because guess what? This place, America, all right, DC, all right, which is not even considered a state, and it's not even considered a state, but it's gonna. This is what they're gonna be aiming for here. The Pentagon is in DC in that area, right? Um, says using the District of Columbia as a rough guide, comparing the blast radius of uh, a hypothetical tactical nuke strike centered at the National Mall with a blast radius of an atomic bomb the size of the one used on the city of Hiroshima in World War II. So the detonation point, all right, the National Mall, all right, is approximately 2.5 miles after it hits. That's the destination point, right? Or length of National Mall, all right. Says here heavy damage and casualties for a 5 kiloton technical nuke. All right, this is the circle, right? That's the heavy damage, right? And casualties, right? It says heavy damage and casualty rated for a 16 kiloton nuke, and that's the size bomb that hit Hiroshima and Nagasaki, right? Distance from Arlington Cemetery to RFK, all right, it's approximately 5 miles. All right, so if the distance, if the detonation point is here and they use this type of bomb, this is how far heavy damage and casualty is going to be. That means buildings are going to be thrown down, all right? And people are going to be in those buildings or under those buildings after they crash. Cars are going to be flipped over. Smoke and dust and radiation and all this other stuff is going to come out. Plus, on top of that, if they do shoot a 5 kiloton missile over here, the Lord could put his spirit in there, his anger in there, his wrath, which we had read in Joel's, not Joel, but Isaiah 13 and 9. All right, his wrath is going to be his fierce anger and wrath is going to be in those missiles. So if they use this size kiloton missile, the Lord can make it hit even harder and cause further damage. All right, that's why we got to fear the Lord. It says here in Isaiah 24:20, the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be upon it heavy, and it shall fall and not rise again. Right? This world, this age is going to be over with, man. All right. Like it says in and I think it's in Malachi. Let me see. All right, this is Malachi 1:4. All right, all right, yeah, 1:4 says, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Right, and they built up. Look at this place, right? Look at America. Look at all the places in the world that America has implemented its influence. It says here, continuing on, thus saith Yahweh Shemel Shai, Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. They shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh Shemel Shai have indignation forever. Right, so that was a good one. The precept the brother got. All right, and it shall fall and not rise again. All right, because the kingdom of the Lord is set up after this. Let me see what else is up in this article. All right, said there's also the radioactive debris, and long-term poison effects to worry about. So there's a lot of stuff to worry about after that bomb hits, right? But the elect is going to be saved out of it, like the brother had this up here earlier, Judges 5:11. It says, but according to Christensen, there are ways to avoid this impact if people in the blast area take proper shelter, which may not be available in a war zone. All right, let me see. I want to read the one about the strategic and tactical. I think I skipped it. All right, here we go. The United States has a good count of strategic weapons because Washington and Moscow are required to disclose to disclose under the terms of New START. All right, it says the last remaining arms control treaty. All right, the Lord's gonna make this treaty break. All right, it says that the count of strategic weapons is split among the deployed on intercontinental ballistic missiles. So the strategic weapons are ICBMs, right? Submarine launched ballistic missiles, and those launched from bombers. Let me see. Ballpark figure. All right, okay, so these are the strategic type missiles, man. ICBM, submarine launched ballistic missiles, and those launched from bombers, airplanes, right? So everything else would be a tactical one, like coming from that vehicle that we see right here. This is a tactical type, so something that they would use in close combat. I saw that up in here somewhere, man, but I can't find it. But here it says the brother got Damawati got Jeremiah 50:29. Call together the archers against Babylon. All ye that bend the bow camp against it round about. Let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all that she have done. Do unto her, for she hath been proud against Yahweh Shemashah, against the Holy One of Israel. And the Lord don't like pride, man. Okay, the Lord's gonna let that pride get to its fullest point, and then the Lord's gonna destroy the prideful man and his pride, man. All right, in his prideful ass place. Shoot, that's about all I got, man. Lord will, the water brother, for the fire precepts as always. May you have us in our shine. Continue to bless you and your family. We'll go ahead and close out. Call Lion La Alahaina Yahweh by Shimmy Shai by Shimho Kakodash. And give double honors to the apostles of great wisdom who will teach well. Give a hearty shalom to the elect. Kwam Yashiwala Mawafa Labar, but Almahar out of one help Shai. Shalom, shalom, shalom. And again, the water, bro. God bless you, Shai Barakatah. Shalom.